Welcome everyone to this bonus edition of the MUTV group chat. We're here to react to the Europa League quarter-final and semi-final draw that was made a little bit earlier on today by UEFA in Switzerland. Let's join the lads who are joining us for this special program. We've got Ben, we've got Danny, we've got Wes, and obviously a major upgrade on Maisie, who's unavailable. We've got Darren Fletcher with us as well. Guys, everything okay? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm gonna start with you, Fletch, because we don't get to speak to you too often, and your reaction to the draw. Well, let's be honest, United will get past last because they've got to play that second leg at Old Trafford on the 5th or 6th of August. When United get through that and 5-0 up, they'll play either Istanbul Başakşehir or FC Copenhagen. Istanbul are 1-0 up from their first leg. And just a reminder that the quarter-final and the semi-finals will be one-leg games. But Fletch, you have to say United will be big favourites going into that.
No, without a doubt, Stu. I think it's a decent draw. I think that United will be big favourites for the whole tournament, the form they're in. But, see who comes through that tie. The Turkish side are top of the league, which is no mean feat. They're a good side, but Copenhagen will still fancy their chances. It's interesting for United. The whole dynamic of the tournament's completely changed with the one-off games in a neutral country. It almost resembles a World Cup or a Euros type format, but I'm sure the lads will be excited about it. Still some good teams left in the competition, but the Europa League's, it was sort of frowned upon a few years back, but in recent years it's had a resurgence, and it's a competition to win. And this young squad, as always alluded to, have got a chance to win 2 trophies, the FA Cup and the Europa League. And it would be a massive shot in the arm if they would manage to do that. It'd really give them a boost going into next season, but still a lot of work to do. But fancy themselves over that tie, no matter who gets through.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't be happy about going to Istanbul with the way the crowds are in Turkey. Unbelievably hostile, amazing atmosphere. But in a neutral, empty venue and a one-off tie, that sort of takes away any sort of possible advantage they would have had if they got through for that, wouldn't it?
Oh, without a doubt, I've been played in Turkey. It's a hostile atmosphere, and we'd back ourselves over 2 legs no matter what. But going to Turkey can be interesting with an experienced squad with a lot of ex-Premier League players: Demba Ba, Robinho, Clichy, Skirtle. A little bit older, but I'm sure they wouldn't like playing against this young, exuberant, attacking United side who play at a really high tempo. But I think we'd be favourites over the 2 legs, and we're definite favourites over a 1-leg tie in a neutral venue.
Happy with the draw, Ben?
Yeah, I am. I think when you look down in draw histories and you think that there are maybe certain teams that you perhaps wouldn't really want to face at this stage, but I look at it the other way, that there's nobody left in that draw that would have wanted to play Manchester United, the form they're in. They've performed better than anybody, and I mean even the teams that are above us at the moment since the restart. They're scoring goals for fun, the fluidity to the play, the pace, the power that they've got. Nobody is going to want to face Manchester United, the form that they're in, and over whether it's 1 leg or whether it's 2 legs, we know it's going to be 1. I don't think Manchester United will bother about that, because they've proved so far that on the way that they're playing at the moment, the performances that they've shown, they can beat anybody, and that includes teams domestically and in Europe. So I'm very, very happy with the draw, but I don't think other teams that may have to face us will be.
Just a reminder of the way it's going to work. Obviously, the quarterfinals and semi-finals and the final, they're all going to be played in Germany, one of 4 cities in Germany. The quarterfinal 10th or 11th, semi-final 16th, 17th, final 21st, which is going to be in Cologne. Hope we get there. Danny, if you look at it as well, if we get through that quarterfinal against Istanbul or Copenhagen, you'd play one of Olympiacos or Wolves or Sevilla or Roma in the semi-final. That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
I think it's written in the stars we're going to play Wolves. We play them nearly every week. But no, if we do get through, like you say, it's still good teams in the competition, and for us, it's a way to get into the Champions League. Obviously, we're going good guns in the Premier League as well, but we want to secure it both. We'd like to get the trophies, get that winning mentality, make sure that that the young lads get that feel of silverware and get into the rhythm, and then gives us a good platform to build into next season. So yeah, good teams there, Stuart, but we've got more than enough in our locker.
Yeah, what do you think of the format, Wes? Playing it, in neutral territory in Germany, and it's all going to be done and dusted within around 10 days, the quarterfinals, semi-finals and final.
think it's an advantage for us, if I'm being honest. There'd be teams who would have loved to play at home and obviously take home advantage with the fans, like we've said. So yeah, it is a disadvantage to some teams. I think the way we're dealing with it and the way we've started since we've come back up has been excellent, and I think it won't trouble us in any sort of way or form whatsoever. And like the lads have said, if we continue playing how we're playing, there won't be any teams that want to play against us. So I think we'll be comfortable with it, and I think we can still go out there and do the job, no problem.
Yeah, as Fletch mentioned earlier, some quite familiar faces in the Istanbul squad: Demba Ba, Skirtle, Clichy, Rubinho. Fletch, they're all still going strong. Shouldn't you? Have you packed in too early? Should you be you know all these guys.
I know what you're saying. It's a good platform. This get me a move to Turkey. Play against United. I might play against United in the Europa League. Don't want me to come back and haunt you, Stuart. No, listen. A lot of experience and still playing, and credit to them. You know, I think that it's about levels and things like that. You take more into consideration as you get older. You take family, how your body feels. You know, the level you're getting offered to play at, and you know, you make a decision. So for me, it's not been an easy one, but yeah, I could probably still play, but I've left it too long now. So yeah, I think it's time to join the rest of the lads and hang my boots up.
Fletch, I can still play as well. If I didn't have to. I'm joking, could I?
Boys, what do you think about the fact that this is a trophy opportunity for United, though? We talk about this exciting young United team. Yes, we've got the FA Cup, we threw against Chelsea, but also a good opportunity of winning a trophy here. How important is it for Ollie and the lads in this sort of new team, really, to win silverware?
I think it's really important. I think, you know, that's what the football club's about, winning trophies. And you've got, you know, the likes of Mason and Brandon that have come into the first team. They'll want to taste it. The lads who are already in there, that, you know, Harry Maguire's first season, he'll want to lift the trophy. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's never lifted a trophy. So there's a lot of players in there that the quicker they get their first trophy and understand what it's like to win for Man United, you know, gets them more familiar with that feeling that they can kick on into next season.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of football played in August. Remember, United have to just finish off the last tie, 5th or 6th of August, and then decamp to Germany for possibly 10 days or so. And as you touched on as well, Ben, really, if United keep going the way they are, I don't think there'll be anybody left in this competition who think, great, I must draw Manchester United the way we're playing.
No, and similarly, Manchester United won't be fearing anybody. I don't think there's anybody in that team, in those other teams that will trouble Manchester United if they continue to perform the way that they're doing. Like I said earlier, the pace they've got, the power. Danny's already mentioned that, you know, the front five, we're not conceding goals at the back. And yes, obviously, the deeper we go into the competition, the more that will be tested. But I just think that we have got far too much firepower up front. And if they keep doing what they've been doing, I don't think there's any defence that are left in any of those teams that is going to be able to cope with the movement of Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, and obviously the creative guile of both Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything to fear. Nobody's going to take the teams lightly that are left in, as Fletcher's already touched on. There are still some good teams left in the competition, but at this moment in time, are any of them as good as Manchester United? I'd say not.
Yeah, Inter Milan still in there, of course. I mean, you never know. That could be an interesting one if it's play Inter at some point. Fletcher, I mean, United, of course, winning 3-0 last night at Villa, just marching on. What do you make? I mean, are you excited watching United these days? I mean, it's like a thrill ride once again watching United. It's like old times.
Sure, do you know the biggest thing is? It's the anticipation before the game that's good now. I'm actually excited to build up the day. It's like, the United game's tonight, and that's a feeling I've not had for a long time. So that makes your whole day good. And then when the performance is what it is as well, it's even better. Yeah, it was a slow start and Villa had a few chances early in the game. We get a little bit of luck with the first penalty, but that happens. You know, it's been the same team. Fatigue will be starting to kick in, but it's amazing what the confidence boost the goal gave. And then they came in and performed like they have done in recent weeks. I do feel a little bit sorry for the lads who are on the bench and the squad who've done fantastically, but they just can't get in just now. And that's what it's like sometimes. Always sticking with the same team and the same players who are getting the results. But there's more than able backups in that squad, and we've got a really, really strong squad. So it's important that those lads don't lose confidence, because when their time comes to get into the team, it just shows you now always going to stick with you. If you perform and the team are winning, there's a good chance he's going to stick with you. And that's what we had under Sir Alex Ferguson as well. Sometimes you had the jersey and you were the man, and there was times good players had to be patient and wait, and it flips very quickly as the season goes on. So a great position for the squad to be in.
Yeah, Wes, would you go with that? I mean, especially with Fletcher and the anticipation of games. I was like driving to the game yesterday thinking, can't wait for this. Brilliant. That's Man United these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so much better. I mean, even in our other group chats, the lads are like, yeah, I wonder what the team's going to be. And, we're discussing you should stick with the same team because they've done well. But I think all United fans are doing the same thing, even if, I'm phoning other friends and they're saying, where are you watching the game? What are you doing? Look at this lad, Mason Greenwood. We're just flying at the moment. It's all positive, and it's good to get back to that because we've missed it. We've not seen it for a while.
Yeah, Dan, we got through 11 minutes of the show without talking about Mason Greenwood. Better mention it, didn't we? I mean, another unbelievable goal last night.
Yeah, I mean, he's, you talk about being a specialist in something. He's a specialist goal scorer. You get in and around the box anywhere, and you think it's going to be a goal. You're almost, if he misses the target, it's like, what? It's like he's brilliant, and he's I wax lyrical about him all the time because I've liked him for years, and I just think he's got that mentality to continue to get better. And
I thought last night, Ben, before he scored, he went through, he burst through and shot left-footed, and Reina saved it. And you're almost thinking, I can't believe he hasn't scored there. Not that it was a great chance, but you expect it now. Every time he's anywhere near the goal, you expect him to score.
Yeah, but that just shows his mentality. Some of the positions that he picked up. He managed to get himself right in the centre of the goal, only about 10 yards outside the area. There was nobody anywhere near him, and he was ghosting in from time to time. And he picked up the ball, and then it was just explosive. And he just, as Danny said, he's just got one thing in his mind. And more often than not, I would say, 9 times out of 10, he will hit the target, and he'll need goalkeepers to produce really good saves like Reina did last night. But he's a nightmare for defenders, and you just do not know which way he's going to go because he's so as talented as I've ever seen with both feet. And he demonstrated that once last night, but twice against Bournemouth with one from either foot. And he is just a natural goal scorer who, again, Danny said he would go on and he will break records, no question.
Well, boys, thanks for joining us for this emergency show, this extra show after the draw. First of all, are you going for us to win this? One word, boys. Are we going to win this? Not just the quarterfinal. Are we winning the Europa League?
Yes.
Yes.
A good chance. Yeah.
Boys, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for joining us. And the group chat will continue next week for a new week. And United back in action, of course, on Monday against Southampton. See you there. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
See you there, everyone.
Good weekend, lads.